these volume nodes. You can see that we have enough volume pretty much from 12 all the way down to 8 to support the market. You can see that in the long-term distribution now. It is the last 30 days. It's not necessarily the volume numbers that are most recent in the market's memory, but again, 8 to 12 was our buy zone. So we had a 9 to 13 out, and we kind of got into the middle of it, and here we sit. Nobody's really abandoned their length. Nobody's really gotten very short. So the large player is on the long side. The entire market is more to the short side, and we'll have to see how this checks out. So much easier to trade in the morning than it is as the day progresses. So we wanted to sell 23s to 27s. The market gave us 19s to 23s. And you really had multiple opportunities to get short in this 19 area right in here, or leaning against it. And that's just kind of the way the trading worked out. So I don't think there's a lot of magic. Wanted to buy this morning 9 to 13. The low was 13. The high is 21. Wanted to sell 23s to 27s. Could get 19s. Couldn't do much better than that. So as purveyors of research, we done good. So in I period, we got a new move lower. I didn't go out and check the news, but my guess is that some sort of economic growth order hit the wires and got the market all excited. If you can call that move excitement. It's just a pretty dead day. So you could do an H split, that would work well. If you wanted to catch it out of the middle, it'd be a tick over. If you do an I split, it's a tick beneath the mode. And here we find ourselves down at the volume from yesterday, and that bounced the market. So on this screen, which is 180 days worth of information, not 30. So this one really picks up 6 months worth of activity. You've got volume. And right here's the volume most recent in the market's memory. And as we move away from this volume node, you can see that in H and I period, we got thinning of volume, and then we pick up volume in J period right here. So our number 2 trade that we preach is the trade that Stettlemyer and Don Jones and I guess Tom Alexander are picking up on now. But we've been doing this trade since 1992. And it's been published by us since right before Christmas in 97, so December of 97. So volume moves the market, it pulls the market to it, slows down activity, and takes it the other way. Okay, I'm going to do an I split on the E-mini. And we had a P pattern before that. Well, Europe only has to go to market 104 times between now and the end of the year for debt. That's all of Europe. So without banks to buy that paper efficiently, who's going to be the buyer. So we've got volume right here. We've got volume right here. Starting out this morning, we had volume right here. So these were our inside numbers. And there are outside numbers, and we'll see if we can actually make it up to what, 58? Trading range day, not a lot going on. Positive news is probably if you don't even need the news, if you only need buy orders in the queue and upticks to make you to drive 70% of the volume that's done on any given day. If the estimates are correct, most people say that 70 to 75% of the volume done on any given day in the E-mini is by the trading robots. Now that would give me a headache. So on a 30-day basis, we've got volume here. Definitely have volume here, but it runs all the way down to our 43 level right here. So this is volume, and you can see that when we move away from volume right here, we get that concavity that Peter talks about till we get to what I would characterize as a node, or our saddle formation, or Bill Orthwing, coming from the floor, probably says terms that describes it a little bit differently, but Bill's a good man, so we'll overlook that. I just circled it, Bill. Now listen, you know, everybody, 10,000, 12,000, 6, 5. When I say something, the pencils come out and you write these numbers down. Generally speaking, on the E-mini, if the 50 lot player is long to the tune of 10,000 or more contracts, that's pretty supportive. On the note, it is 12,000. I don't know what it is on the bond. Perhaps John Bottomley will share that information with us someday. But it's like a 50 period moving average versus a 5 period moving average, Bill. It's weight, it's pressure, it's buying power quantified. I would, your number will never be exactly the same as his because of the time you turn on your computer and with the ISP server you use, but it should be close. So right click on the screen, go down to miscellaneous, go down to force tick rebuild and see if you can get your number closer to his, but it's never going to be equal. This has been a long-term recurring problem. Peter thinks he has it fixed on 7.1, which will be out after the first part of the year. Well, is yours a 50 lot player? I mean, it could be that. You could have a different number there. I mean, there's a lot of things. Well, it should default to 50, but right click on the screen, go to chart indicators, left click on chart indicators, go, excuse me. Go down to the third pane, put your cursor on it, left click on that, then right click, all on pane number 3. Go to chart indicators, And you see where it says Volume Studies, Bill. Left click on Volume Studies. Left click on Parameters. In the far left-hand corner, the second row, it says Lower Lot Size. Change that to 50. This one right there that's highlighted in blue, make that 50, then you have a 50 lot player there. Have you got it? Then click OK. Click OK. Then go left click on Trading and go down there where it says Save Layout. Left click on Save Layout. Cursor on Save, left click on Save, and it'll say one already exists. Do you want to override it? And click Yes on that, and you got it locked in. So, for several weeks, we've been talking about the significance of 55, 57 as the tipping point in the market. We did trade up to 1290, I think, 1289, somewhere in there, without looking at it. And so our 1254.50, 1256.50 comes from that piece of information, or our tipping point right here, or what I perceive to be our tipping point. And for those that are really aggressive, when you break that bar's low right there, you sell stop into the market. And for those that aren't so aggressive, when you break that little skinny bar that has the S over it low, you sell stop into the market. And we traded to the value high. If we can get through that, we should get back down and at least go for stops below 50. So that's where we are. Any questions? Well, I'll be here if they pop up. See, Robert's got something for me. Okay. Well, I'll be here if anything pops in. We'll pick it up for the wrap up here in about an hour and get ready for tomorrow's trading. Later.